using scissors to cut some holes in the sandwich containers. You'll need a couple of egg cartons or other cardboard structures for the crickets to hide and breed in. You also need food to feed them. You could use a spot lamp or two, preferably with a dark bulb, and 2-wire screens for them to put the lamps on and to keep the crickets from jumping out. You can get most screens at pet stores, but I made my own because I'm trying to keep my costs down. Finally, you'll need crickets. We want a higher female to male ratio so that male crickets don't get all the eggs. To tell the difference, the females have a bead with a tube coming out the middle. This is how they lay their eggs. The males have a more distinguishable bead, but they have no tube. So, it's always a good idea to start reading the instructions before starting any project so that we know if there are any surprises ahead. Step 1, prepare the laying container. Step 2, prepare the cricket's home. Step 3, put food in home. Step 4, add crickets. Step 5, add heat lamp. Step 6, check soil moisture daily. Step 7, replace laying box. And step 8, give hatchlings food. Well, I've gone over the materials and the instructions seem pretty straightforward. So I'm going to go through the instructions again on a more detailed basis. So step 1, prepare the laying container. To prepare the laying container, take your sandwich containers and cut a small hole near the top of them. This is so that the crickets can get in and out. Then, taking some potting soil and put a little bit of sand in with it. You also want to make sure that there are no clumped pieces of soil so that the crickets don't get smothered by all of it. So there are a few clumps, so I'm just going to work them out and also at the same time mix all of it thoroughly. So by putting the sand in, this helps to, it keeps it from packing too tightly as well, so that the eggs don't get smothered. Also, if you happen to overwater by accident, it will soak up some of the moisture. Well, that looks good. So now, 1.5 to 2 inches deep, loosely packed, put the mixture into the containers. Then, take your water and mist some of the first container so that it's moist but not wet. Then, finally, put the lids on top of the containers and poke some holes in the top with the scissors. You want to make sure that your scissors have a sharp point so it's easier to cut the holes in the top. Step 2, prepare the cricket's home. I'm just going to put the wire screens off to the side for now so I can get at my sweater boxes. So you want to take one of the laying boxes, the one that you moistened with water, and place it in a corner of the sweater box for the crickets to go in and lay bacterial contamination. Since I'm trying to keep my costs down, I'm just using vegetable scraps. Step 5, add heat lamp. So now you want to take a wire screen and put it on top of your finished habitat. Take your spot lamp, screw the bulb in, and place it on the opposite end from your laying container so that the soil does not dry out too quickly. Although these are not mandatory, spot lamps will speed up the breeding process. Since crickets thrive in dark, warm places, a dark bulb is the best choice. 25 to 30 degrees Celsius is the optimal heating temperature for crickets. Step 4, add crickets. As I talked about earlier, we need a proper male to female ratio. That is 1 male for every 2 females. I have 10 females in this bag and 5 males in this bag. I'm not going to release them because I do not want to take the risk of any getting out and someone taking an uninvited guest home. So I am just going to leave them in their bags for this demonstration, or this speaking show. Step 6, check soil moisture daily. Make sure the soil does not dry out completely by moistening with the water when almost dry, but don't overwater. If condensation forms on the lid, it means you have overwatered and the hatchlings could drown. Step 7, replace the laying box. 5 to 7 days later, mist the second container with water so that it's also moist but not wet. Then, replace the first container with the second one. I'll just put it aside and switch the containers. Also, remember again to make sure the hole is facing away from the wall. Then, put the first container, now full of eggs, and put it in the second habitat with the wire screen on top. Then, put the screen back on the first habitat and place the spot lamp on it again. Step 8, give hatchlings food. 7 to 10 days later, you should see hatchlings no bigger than the tip of a pen. Make sure you feed them as soon as you see them, or else they will shrivel up. Congratulations, you just learned how to breed crickets. So remember, first, create 2 cricket habitats. Second, rotate laying containers weekly. And finally, keep crickets properly fed and hydrated. If you follow these steps,